Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I want to show you something very interesting about Donald Trump's presidential campaign and him being announced as the 45th president on November 9th, 2016, one day after the election. When Donald Trump was campaigning to be president, his most successful day was April 26th, 2016, which was his wife Melania's 46th birthday that day. Happened to be a date with 46 numerology as well, and Donald Trump is born in 46. I'm going to show you what's so interesting about that date to November 8th and November 9th. This is definitive proof that our elections are scripted. I want you to see how confident Donald Trump was on this day that he would defeat Hillary. And I also want you to hear him guarantee how he's going to get the wall built. Check this out, Truth Seeker. We're going to watch two quick clips. I'll link this entire video below so you can watch the whole speech. The two most interesting things out of the entire speech are what I'm about to show you, in my opinion. The confidence of beating Hillary and how he's going to build the wall. Watch.
And today we came up even against Hillary, but we will beat Hillary so easily. And, remember this.
So he said that a lot. From then up until the election, once he became the nominee, he'll beat Hillary easily. Remember, it's all scripted. It's all theater. It's all a puppet show. In 2009, Donald Trump was a Democrat. He'd been a Democrat his whole life. And in 2009, he did an interview talking about Bill and Hillary and how he thought that Bill was one of the greatest presidents ever, how much respect he had for Hillary. It's just like a few years ago, he said that Russia was the biggest threat to America's future. And now it's just a few years later, he's the president. And, he seems to love Russia more than the United States. Remember, Russia, the United States, both New World Order nations serving the same agenda. It's another topic. Right now we're focusing on Donald Trump, New World Order agent, the 45th president, and how on April 26th, this speech was definitely connected to his election and the announcement of his election on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, which was November 9th. Listen to him. Here he is about the wall.
Our border will be very, very strong, and we will build the wall. Just remember I said it, okay?
Just remember I said it. We will build the wall. He said it on this date that is his wife's birthday. So look at this. This is amazing, Truth Seeker. When the speech began, his acceptance speech, it was 9:58 on the clock. You see that? 9:58. This election was the 58th presidential election. It was the 58th presidential inauguration that just passed January 20th, 2017, a date with 58 numerology. For this inauguration, they hired a new man to lead the ceremonies, 58-year-old Steve Ray. Freemasonry equals 58, Secret Society 58, Annuit Coeptus 58. United States has Gematria 58. Here we are in a nation founded by Freemasons, Freemasonry a club for men, Donald Trump the 44th president of the United States. Well, he's number 45, but he's the 44th person to truly be president. Just like Obama was the 43rd person, just like George H.W. Bush was really the 42nd person, going all the way back to the 25th president. Grover Cleveland was number 22 and number 24, messing up the count forever. So here's Melania Trump, born April 26, 1970. She turned 46 on this date, a date with 46 numerology. I want to remind that there was the story of the Trump tombstone, and it looks like I forgot to put it up here, so we'll just do it one more time. Trump tombstone. In Gematria, sums to 58 using the English reduction method, just as we have right here. Freemasonry, Secret Society, Annuit Coeptus, Trump tombstone. Do you remember this Trump tombstone story from Easter Sunday, March 27th, 2016? All it had was Donald J. and his year of birth, 1946. That was also a date with 46 numerology. The word chaos has Gematria 46. So does the word sacrifice. Important number throughout history in staged tragedies. from assassinations to World Trade Centers falling, the Freemasons, we're talking about Freemasonry, they believe in order out of chaos, staging a planned event to achieve a planned outcome, starting a war, building a police state, etc. Donald Trump, New World Order agent, will help deliver this ongoing agenda that's been with this nation since the beginning. New World Order, Old World Order. So, from his acceptance speech to Election Day was a span of 197 days. Why is that interesting? 197 is the 45th prime number. Donald Trump elected as the 45th president, but truly the 44th person to be president. From the victory speech to November 9th, the day of the announcement of him, it was 197 days later. November 8th, Election Day, was a span of 197 days. Election Day for the 45th president. November 9th, 197 days later, again the 45th prime. And with regards to November 9th, the name Donald in Jewish gematria is 119. So is the phrase all-seeing eye. So is the name Star of David, the symbol of the Zionists. Donald Trump has said nobody loves Zionist Israel more than him. He's been boasting on the campaign trail about how his family, his children, married smart. All of them are married into Zionist Jewish families. Master plan equals 119. His wife's birthday, April 26, 1970, that is a date with 119 numerology. It's also a date with a life lesson number of 47. That's the number for president, for authority. So again, Donald Trump announced as the 45th president on November 9th, 2016, the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall equals 45. Donald Trump running on building a wall. The night of his victory speech, guaranteeing he will get the wall built. He has this America First policy, and it's about fighting a boogeyman overseas that doesn't exist and building a wall to keep out people from another country. You know, the American people, they need a lot more than that. So just so you know, there's something called Saturn's Magic Square. Saturn's Magic Square, you're looking at it, 492, 357, 816. Notice if you add all these rows, 4 plus 9 plus 2, 3 plus 5 plus 7, 8 plus 1 plus 6, if you add each row, they all sum to 15. And same thing if you add up and down, 4 plus 3 plus 8, 9 plus 5 plus 1, 2 plus 7 plus 6. Same if you add diagonal, 4 plus 5 plus 6, 8 plus 5 plus 2. It's all about 45, the magic square of Saturn. Saturn in Jewish gematria is also 119. And here's a commercial from 2010. Donald Trump talking about being born for the job, talking to sheep. The only two sheep that have numbers are 11 and 9. This is from 2010. He's wearing the same suit and tie that he wore on election night. Again, this is all the evidence that Donald Trump was scripted to be the president years in advance. If you missed the video I put out just days after the election showing all the TV sitcoms Donald Trump was in that foreshadowed his presidency, check that out. Check that out. A lot of those episodes debuted on dates with 58 numerology, winner of the 58th presidential election. The end of this commercial ends with a sheep saying, "Where is your dignity?" What do you think they're talking about there? They're talking about this day and age, the American people, the people who don't pay attention to anything going on in their world, just worry about them, try to stay afloat, and in their spare time, worry more about being entertained than informed. Where is your dignity? Something I noticed for the first time, all-seeing eye using the Francis Bacon form of gematria sums to 197, the all-seeing eye, which also sums to 119. Again, 197, the 45th prime, the sum of the magic square of Saturn, which comes back to 119. Very interesting. In fact, oh no, that's not quite true. I was going to say something that wasn't true. Would have been a mistake. One last point, with regards to it being called the magic square of Saturn, look at the gematria of it down here. Perfect with the United States of America. Identical. And remember, this nation, founded by Freemasons, Jewish bankers, Jesuits, people that abide by this esoteric knowledge of gematria, gematria, numerology, astrology, and have mapped out the course of this nation, planning things long in advance ever since. September 11th was a giant Saturn ritual. Saturn, we're talking about this magic square of Saturn. Saturn is the keeper of time to the occult. That's why things are done by the numbers of Saturn, planned long in advance. Donald Trump is a Jesuit since 1964, 52 years before taking the White House. White House 52, government 52, prophecy 52. Donald Trump becomes president, his first government office, 52 years after becoming a Jesuit. Think about it. So here was another headline today, May's Brexit headache, about Theresa May, who took over for David Cameron after the surprise Brexit vote where Donald Trump was overseas during the time of Brexit. Just want to remind you something about Brexit. Brexit equals 33 like Masonry. Theresa May came in. The previous female prime minister was Margaret Thatcher, MT, TM. Those are the letters for 33. And who did they replace? David Cameron, Cameron 33. Go see all of the articles put out about David Cameron moving out of 10 Downing Street. Took him 330 boxes to move. All sorts of crap reported like that. It's all about 33 with these Freemasons. Clinton, Cameron, Masonry, secrecy, federal order. They're all 33 words. So anyway, I saw this today and I said, oh yeah, this reminds me how I was saying I'm worried. The most worried, well, in February I put out a video on why Donald Trump would probably be the next president. I really didn't want to see this orange Oompa Loompa become the president. I knew what it meant. This is a sign that we are further along in this sick New World Order agenda than I had hoped. You know? Means we need to wake up faster. Means we need to organize and fight back. But anyway, what I was saying when Donald Trump was over there in the UK and Scotland, where his mother's from, Scottish Rite Freemasonry, Scotland. Anyhow, when Donald Trump was over there for the Brexit vote, I said, okay, here's a surprise for the UK. It would be a real surprise for the United States if they made Donald Trump the president. And what I pointed out then was the day of the Brexit vote when Donald Trump was over there, from June 23rd, the day it happened, to November 8th, was 138 days, just like the name Donald Trump. Remember, this is the number that's coded into the history of the Berlin Wall. The day after the election, I put out a video on JFK, Donald Trump, the Berlin Wall in 138. If you missed that video, you got to check it out. This is how the New World Order operates. We're living out a planned agenda by the numbers. These prime leaders, these presidents, they are agents. They don't serve us. They serve the Masonic tyrants that we call the New World Order, the Illuminati. I thought it was interesting today. It was about this Article 50. Wonder what the symbolism of that is. Reminds me of Donald in America. I'll show you something about the United States and the UK. So I want these two methods. I want the reduced and the ordinal. These are both based on the alphabetic order. If you write out America, it sums to 32. And UK, using the alphabetic order, is 32. And our date of independence from the UK, 7/4/1776, that's a date with 32 numerology. You see that? Just like how America and UK are 32. Look at what happens if you write out 32. It sums to 50, just like how America also equals 50. You see? The truth is, there never was any real separation. It's all just part of a show to dupe the people that are governed over. The UK, the United States, they are the United New World Order. New World Order nations. The UK, the United States, collaborated in World War I with the plan of establishing a Zionist state of Israel. A plan that came from a Rothschild Zionist banking family. So anyhow, you know, that's the Brexit thing. I want to bring this back to where we began, with Donald Trump's victory speech April 26th on his wife's birthday. For Inauguration Day, there was a lot of attention on how she was dressed like Jackie Kennedy. She was wearing baby blue, the first lady to wear baby blue since 1961 when Jackie Kennedy did it. Melania was wearing Ralph Lauren. They did a lot of coverage of this. Ralph Lauren, this American brand. Look at the gematria of Ralph Lauren and Jackie Kennedy. When you write out 45 as a word, it sums to 54. talking about 45. JFK was killed in the middle of Dealey Plaza with his wife beside him. Dealey Plaza, he had just spoken at the site of the Berlin Wall in June before his November 22nd assassination, 11 plus 22, 33. Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason. Zapruder film made by a 33rd degree Freemason. And think about Zapruder. Zapruder over from that part of the world, you know, Soviet Russia. Supposedly, the assassin Oswald had just come back from Soviet Russia. Look at where his wife's from, Melania. She's from that part of the world. Here's Donald Trump, who wants to close off the borders, stop immigration, but he has a wife from another part of the world. It's all part of the planned hypocrisy, the mocking of the masses. The headline, Pretty in Blue, 59, like her birth name, Jackie Bouvier, her maiden name, Jackie Kennedy, just like John F. Kennedy. 59, the 17th prime. Here we are in the beginning of 2017. 59 and 17, numbers of killing. I have a full video on this, so I'm skipping through. It's been 56 years since 1961. Down here, just to show you, Baby Blue has the same gematria as Trump, quite fitting. Again, Melania, born April 26th. Finish with that. Do you remember the recording from last September that went viral for a day on YouTube? This recording about Donald Trump over and over. It sounded like it was saying April 26th. Play that to refresh your memory, but I think it was pointing to Melania. So anyhow, from Melania's upcoming birthday to the inauguration that just happened was 96 days. The reason that was so interesting is because this year was the 96th year that women had the right to vote. Special number to Freemasonry. If you missed the full video I did on this, I will link that in the description. I talk about their wedding date and how from the wedding to Trump's birthday sank with her name, Melania Trump. Whole lot of other things. A lot of very interesting information here. Before I show you this clip, in case you forgot, of the recording that was playing on loop that sounded like it was saying Donald Trump, April 26th. Before I show you that, this was a headline today from CNN. There's something amiss with this inauguration photo. Here's what's wrong with it. Donald Trump, he tweeted today, notice he tweeted at 8:58. His inauguration was on a date with 58 numerology. It was the 58th presidential inauguration, again with the 58-year-old Steve Ray. But this picture that he sends out that says it was his audience for Inauguration Day, do you know what it really is? It is a picture from the day after of the protests. And why do you think they did this? Because more people showed up to protest Donald Trump the day after than they did for his inauguration day. This is no mistake, Truth Seeker. This is planned deception, mocking the people. This stuff goes on all the time in the media. The media makes massive protests look like nobody's there. They make small protests look like a lot of people's there when they want. You know, Bernie Sanders all throughout the year was bringing out crowds of 20,000, and the media always understated his stats. In that speech we began with Trump, if you watch the beginning of it, he talks about how the only person even coming close to his crowds is Bernie Sanders, but he's number 2 and Donald Trump's number 1. He says that in the beginning of the speech, when in reality, Bernie Sanders was bringing out more people than anybody. Any of us who lived in a city where Trump and Bernie came to, everyone saw that way more people showed up for Bernie. Bernie was bringing out the crowds everywhere. And I don't even like Bernie Sanders. He's hope for the hopeless. He's an agent too, but that's another story. But he still was bringing out more people because more people resonate with his message. And myself included. Even though I recognize Bernie Sanders is an operative, just like the rest of our government, I still realize his message is more on point. I mean, Donald Trump ran on nothing. Building a wall, you know, patting himself on the back, lying. Let's finish up here with this clip. This was September 21st, 2016 news. That was a date with 46 numerology, 9 plus 21, 30 plus 16, 46. On this date, we were hearing about April 26th. Here's the clip, Truth Seeker. Play this and we'll get out of here.
From April 26th, from April 26th, from April 26th. from April 26th, from April 26th, from April 26th, from April.
What is this?
From April.
I'm around Newark.
When I posted this video, it got a lot of trolling that said it's not saying Trump April 26th. It sounds to me like Trump April 26th. Listen to the end of that. That TH sounds 6th. You know, people heard other things. But it really sounds like Trump April 26th, and we understand now why that date's so significant. He gave his victory speech guaranteeing he'd beat Hillary, that he'd build the wall, synced up with the election. It's his wife's birthday. You know, the more we pay attention, the more we document, the more clear it all becomes. For all of you who attack me for saying it said Trump April 26th, you can always apologize. So I'll link this. You can watch this full victory speech. You know, he's completely confident he'll win. It reminds me completely of George W. Bush. Hey, let's close out with the gematria of George W. Bush, huh? 58, like Freemasonry. George W. Bush is born on the 187th day of the year, July 6th. From Trump's GOP convention, July 18th, 18/7, to Inauguration Day. Or not to Inauguration Day. From start of Trump's campaign, July 18th, to Inauguration Day, 187 days. 187. Very interesting that the last two Republican presidents share these numbers. In case you're new here and you've never seen one of my videos, search Zachary K. Hubbard, Donald Trump. I have more than 100 videos from the last year and a half on Donald Trump showing news by the numbers, the planned agenda, you know, Donald Trump, the puppet, the New World Order agent. Undeniable. Undeniable. See the video I put out on the TPP earlier? Him signing the executive action on the Dakota Access Pipeline and Keystone. It's all news by the numbers. It's all planned long in advance. They found this orange Oompa Loompa with the comb over to go out and deliver the propaganda. Look, I mean, just look at the goons we have in our government. I mean, look at Chris Christie behind him. It's just sick. Until next time.